It's Wednesday, April 25th, 2018, and we're one day away from the NFL draft. So we're going to do another Vanran10 on sports. We have done two of these previous videos about the mock draft that I am doing. I am going backwards, 32 to 1. We did 32 to 21 in a video. We've done 20 to 11 in a video. And now we're going to do 10 through 6. And then tomorrow, the day of the draft, I will do 5 to 1. Or I'm going to do all 10 right now. You know what? I'm going to do all 10 right now. You know why? Because the draft is tomorrow, and it's like everybody will be watching the draft and not watching YouTube. I know I'll be watching the draft and not watching YouTube. So, we're going to run through these 10 to 1. So at the number 10 pick, the Oakland Raiders will select Raquan Smith, linebacker out of Georgia. Let's make sure that its name is correct. That's right. Yes, Roquan Smith out of Georgia, 6'1", 236, linebacker. They've got Khalil Mack. The defense was suspect last year. Oakland needs to shore it up. Really, if it was my choice being a Bronco fan, I would make the Raiders forfeit their pick. Sorry, Oakland. I don't think you need that first-round pick. You might have cheated sometime in the past 50 years, so I'm going to take that first-round pick away this year. Now, also, as part of this draft, I did not take trades into account. Believe me, I know there's going to be a ton of probably trades in this, especially maybe in this first round, especially people trying to move up to get quarterbacks. But I am doing a stand pat. Trades are not allowed until tomorrow. So as of right now, because trades have been banned by the NFL, while I'm doing my mock draft, and I'm not aware that tomorrow they'll be legal again. So, number 9, San Francisco. San Francisco is going to take Quentin Nelson, guard out of Notre Dame. He's, to me, I find it so hard to take a guard in the top 10 in the NFL draft. I really do. But this guy is supposed to be a can't-miss guy. 6'5", 325 pounds. The reason I can just never bring myself to take a guard at this point in the draft, the top 10, is because it's a guard. Your most important people are usually your tackles, maybe your center. But the guards, you can usually, hide mediocre guards by having good tackles and a good center. Guards aren't really, the thing you really think that much about. If you're a running team, yeah, you have to have good guards to make up a great offensive line, but to spend the number 9 pick, somebody is going to pick this guy in the top 10. Everybody keeps saying that Quentin Nelson is a can't-miss prospect. But if you told me that this guy is going to be a 12-year starter for my team and is going to go into Hall of Fame, yeah, I'll take him number 9, but who can predict that? But I still think with the way people are talking about this guy, somebody's going to take him in the top 10. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't take him in the top 5, but he is supposed to be a special talent. I think San Francisco will take him to help protect their $2 billion quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo. So at number 8, that leaves the Chicago Bears. I have heard a million different things of what Chicago's going to take. Supposedly they need cornerbacks, defensive ends, defensive tackles, offensive linemen. And they were terrible last year. They need a lot of stuff. They don't need a quarterback. They have Mitch Trubisky. So they are going to take Tremaine Edmonds. I got to make Tremaine Edmonds. I'm making his name way more complicated than it has to be. Tremaine Edmonds, linebacker out of Virginia Tech. Chicago needs to get back to having a great defense again. I think Mitch Trubisky, they have a pretty solid running game right now. They do need to get wide receivers, but the only real talented wide receiver in this draft, you don't really want to take him with the 8th pick, although they might. But I think they're going to go for a really good linebacker to help shore up the defense a little bit. Best player available kind of a thing. So they'll take the linebacker out of Virginia Tech. Tampa Bay at number 7. This is also going to be a best player available. Minkah Fitzpatrick out of Alabama, safety. Minkah Fitzpatrick is 6'2", 204. Once again, another one of these guys that a lot of people are considering can't miss. Now, there's no such thing as a can't miss. There have been lots of people that have been called can't miss and they miss. There's just no such thing. You just don't know until they get there. But some of these guys are pretty solid. This draft may have a lot of really solid players that turn out to be really great. Minkah Fitzpatrick seems like he might be one of those guys. Tampa Bay will be happy to put him in their secondary. Best player available, he'll still be on the board for him. Number 6, the Colts. The Colts need help everywhere. They're not very good. Most of these teams are not very good. That's why they're picking so high. They're going to take Denzel Ward, cornerback out of Ohio State. In this day and age, you can never have enough cornerbacks. It's a passing league, and the rules are set up to help out passing teams. So they're not, the more good cornerbacks that you have, you can really help your team with a lot of really good cornerbacks to shut down everybody. So, he is going to be the best player available. He's a little undersized. I don't like seeing cornerbacks that go in the top 10 at less than 6 feet tall, but he's supposed to be a special player. So Tampa Bay, or the Colts will take him, The Colts will take him at number 6. Number 5. Number 5 is my Denver Broncos. Now, I still believe quarterbacks are going to be at a premium, and they're all going to go really high. That's why the Denver Broncos are going to pass on Baker Mayfield. They're going to pass on him because I am a Bronco fan. I hear a lot of the stuff that's here in Denver, and I believe that Chad Kelly and Paxton Lynch, and you've got, why is his name escaping me right now? But the guy we signed in free agency. Oh, that's so bad that I've forgotten my quarterback's name. I hate when that happens. I got this weird little flyer over here on the side of my head. Case Keenum. They signed Case Keenum for 2 years. Solid quarterback. Had a really good year last year. You've got 2 young quarterbacks. Paxton Lynch really hasn't had an opportunity. He has not looked good in any opportunity he's had. And then you got Chad Kelly, who is Jim Kelly's nephew. And he was injured last year. He was on the developmental or the practice squad. So they want to see what he can do. A lot of people are saying he looks pretty good. So why take a quarterback at the number 5 pick? So they're going to take Bradley Chubb, defensive end, or edge rusher is what they're calling him for the most part, out of North Carolina State. The Wolfpack. It's appropriate because he'll get to play with Derek Wolfe. He played for the Wolfpack, and now he's going to play with Derek Wolfe. It means he's going to the Hall of Fame, and he's going to be playing with that guy Von Miller too. The Denver Broncos won their last Super Bowl not with Peyton Manning being good. They won when DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller were hassling the quarterback all day, every day. So I believe bringing in a Bradley Chubb, having a guy like Shane Ray, having a pretty solid defensive line in there with those guys will make that defense great again. It was pretty dang good last year, but it'll make it even better this year. And with Case Keenum in the offense that they pretty much have, they'll get a running back in like the 2nd round. But they're going to be pretty good. So Bradley Chubb to the Broncos at number 5. Number 4, the Cleveland Browns. They are not going to take 2 quarterbacks. Anybody who keeps saying that the Cleveland Browns are going to take a quarterback in 1 and 4 are nuts. The Cleveland Browns at number 4 are going to take Saquon Barkley, running back, Penn State. Now, personally, I think he's a little on the overrated side. But I am not a GM. I am not a scout. All I can do is the eye test of what I've seen. I'm not super impressed, but a lot of other people are. A lot of people say this kid is going to be amazing. Now, hopefully it's not going to be a thing, that kid that came out of Penn State years ago and ended up with the Cincinnati Bengals. And his name is escaping me right now, but he was supposed to be really good too. And then I think he had some knee injuries and whatnot and ended up not really panning out very well. I'm sure everybody else knows his name right now, and I can't think of it. But the Cleveland Browns will take Saquon Barkley because they're going to take a quarterback at that #1 pick. And the reason you take a quarterback with that #1 pick is that you pick the guy you want the most. Now, I've already put Baker Mayfield's already gone in this draft. I've already put him somewhere else. He's going 11 to Miami. Baker Mayfield is not the in my opinion, Baker Mayfield might be the best quarterback out of all of these, but a lot of other people are still pointing towards basically the other 3 quarterbacks. There's just so many questions about these quarterbacks. But Saquon Barkley will be a good fit to go into a young offense with the, so maybe you have this quarterback grow up with this running back, and you know, maybe Cleveland can start to turn things around. Hopefully they make the right 2 picks. The Cleveland Brown fans deserve to see this team start to turn it around. Number 3, the Jets. The Jets are going to take Josh Allen, quarterback, Wyoming. Big guy. They keep comparing him to Roethlisberger. Don't compare anybody to Roethlisberger yet. It's like Roethlisberger is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Quit comparing Josh Allen to a guy that's probably going to end up first ballot Hall of Fame. Roethlisberger's won a Super Bowl. He's been to Super Bowls. Don't compare him to Roethlisberger. Don't put that kind of pressure on a kid that played at Wyoming where he never played against big competition. Let him get his feet. Now, the problem is he's going to be playing in New York. That's a big market. Hopefully this kid can handle it. He's a big kid, but he doesn't have a ton of accuracy. But he will go number 3 to the Jets. Number 2, now you notice Saquon's gone. You notice Bradley Chubb is gone. So what did the Giants take? The Giants, I don't care that they have Eli Manning. Eli Manning is on the decline of his career. He's not getting better. He's getting worse. He was bad last year. Real bad. You need a quarterback. And fast. There is a lot of good quarterbacks. You have the number 2 pick. You're going to get to pick the second quarterback. You're going to have a selection out of every quarterback except for one. You are going to be able to take the last quarterback that's going to be, you're going to be able to take the next best thing. Take him, and they will. Josh Rosen, UCLA quarterback. The Giants, don't fool yourself. I don't care how much you like Eli Manning. He is not going to lead your team to victories this year. The team will still get worse. The Giants are not going to be better with a declining Eli Manning. I watched his brother Peyton decline, and I'm so glad his brother retired when he did, because it was rough watching Peyton on the decline in his career because he's such a great quarterback. You hate to think a great quarterback could ever get worse, but they do. Father Time is undefeated. Eli Manning is losing now to Father Time. Take Josh Rosen. Take him. Giants, you need a quarterback. You need somebody to helm this for the future. Don't wait. That leaves number 1, and everybody now can predict. Number 1, Cleveland Browns. This is what most people are saying is going to go number 1 to the Cleveland Browns, and that's Sam Darnold, quarterback out of USC. You are the Cleveland Browns. You have the first pick. You are 1-31 in your last 2 years. You take the best available player, the best quarterback that you can take. Take him. Take the best quarterback. You need one. You have first choice. Take the quarterback you want more than any of the other quarterbacks. Don't leave it to chance and end up with some other quarterback at number 4 because you think you want Saquon Barkley or Bradley Chubb before him. Take your quarterback, the guy you like the most. Most people agree Sam Darnold plays in a pro-style offense. He is the most pro-ready of all these guys. His only minor issue is, I guess he's a little bit of a fumbler. That's not that big of a deal. If you have a great quarterback, he can overcome a few fumbling problems. So there is the mock draft of me, Vanran10, 2018 mock draft, number 1 pick, Sam Darnold, Cleveland Browns. I have done 3 videos on this. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think they should take first. And with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, future, thanks for the freedom.